For decades, Ozzy Osbourne has electrified the world with his unmistakable voice, rebellious spirit, and groundbreaking music. But behind the wild persona and thunderous performances lies a life marked by intense struggle, pain, and resilience. Today, we reveal the surprising moments that tested his limits, from health battles to heartbreaking setbacks. Join us as we uncover the shocking details that changes everything. Ozzy Osbourne has left an indelible mark on the music industry. From his groundbreaking work as the lead vocalist of Black Sabbath to his storied solo career, Ozzy has become one of the most recognized and influential figures in the world of rock and heavy metal. With an instantly recognizable voice, an unmatched stage presence, and a persona that embodies rebellion and defiance, Ozzy Osbourne has created some of the most powerful and iconic songs in music history. But it wasn't always easy for Ozzy. His journey as the frontman of one of the most influential metal bands of all time is one filled with struggles, setbacks, and moments of vulnerability. Even before Black Sabbath became a global sensation, Ozzy's life was fraught with challenges. When Black Sabbath exploded onto the music scene, it didn't just change the face of heavy metal. It set the stage for Ozzy's future as a musical icon. As the band's frontman, he became known for his dark, mystical lyrics and his electric stage presence. Songs like Iron Man, Paranoid, and War Pigs captured the energy of an entire generation, earning Black Sabbath a devoted following and cementing their place in rock history. However, his battles with addiction and personal demons have been a significant factor in his eventual departure from Black Sabbath in the 1970s. Despite this, Ozzy's ability to reinvent himself was one of his greatest strengths. His solo career was marked by its own share of triumphs, with albums like Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. These tracks became staples in the rock world and solidified Ozzy's position as a legend in his own right. Despite the many challenges Ozzy faced, his musical career has remained a constant, and it's through his music that he has continued to connect with fans around the world. But now, at this juncture in his life, Ozzy must confront a challenge far beyond anything he's faced before, one that could end his career and change the course of his future. In recent years, Ozzy Osbourne's fans have been shocked to learn of a devastating health condition that has been quietly impacting his life. While many were aware of Ozzy's ongoing battles with various ailments, like back pain, injuries from past incidents, and the effects of aging, the announcement that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease came as a complete surprise. The news sent shockwaves through the rock community, with fans and loved ones alike reeling from the reality that the once untouchable Ozzy Osbourne, the man who seemed invincible on stage, was now facing a deeply personal and debilitating illness. Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder that affects the brain's ability to control movement. Symptoms can include tremors, stiffness, slow movement, and balance problems. For someone like Ozzy, who has spent a lifetime on stage, constantly moving and feeding off the energy of his fans, this diagnosis was particularly devastating. Ozzy, who has always been known for his chaotic and high-energy performances, was now faced with the harsh reality that his body was beginning to betray him. The diagnosis not only affects his ability to perform, but it also impacts his daily life in ways that are difficult to imagine. For Ozzy, the decision to share his diagnosis with the world was not an easy one. His health had already been in decline for several years, and he had struggled in silence before finally coming forward with the news. There was a deep sense of vulnerability in his revelation, as he has always been a figure larger than life, someone who never appeared to be slowed down by anything. To acknowledge his own fragility was a difficult step for someone who had built his career on the back of defiance and toughness. The news of Ozzy's Parkinson's diagnosis hit fans hard, many of whom had grown up with his music as a soundtrack to their own lives. His songs, filled with themes of resilience and power, had long been a source of comfort for those dealing with their own struggles. To see the man who had been an icon of strength and defiance suddenly confront a battle that was so personal and uncontrollable was deeply moving for his followers. Fans around the world began to send messages of love and support, offering words of encouragement and solidarity. But despite the overwhelming support, there was no escaping the reality. The road ahead for Ozzy Osbourne would not be easy. The emotional toll of the diagnosis has undoubtedly weighed on Ozzy and his family. But even in the face of such adversity, Ozzy has shown an extraordinary amount of resilience. Though Parkinson's disease may have changed his life in ways he never expected, it has not diminished his love for music or his passion for creating. His determination to keep fighting, both for himself and for his fans, has continued to shine through. As Ozzy faces this new chapter, he is doing so with the same strength and tenacity that have defined his life and career. The future may be uncertain, but Ozzy Osbourne's spirit remains unbroken. Despite his challenges, Ozzy has remained determined to keep going. His passion for music is unshakable, and his desire to connect with his fans has remained a driving force in his life. But the physical limitations imposed by his illness have forced him to reevaluate his career and his future. Ozzy has admitted that the idea of not being able to perform, of not being able to do what he loves most, has been one of the hardest things to accept. His entire identity has been tied to his role as a performer, and the possibility that his health may prevent him from doing so is a bitter pill to swallow. Ozzy's family, especially his wife Sharon, has been instrumental in helping him navigate this difficult period. Sharon has always been by his side, offering unwavering support and helping him manage the challenges of his health. Together, they have faced some of the darkest moments in Ozzy's life, and they are now confronting this latest hurdle with the same resilience and determination that have defined their relationship. When Ozzy Osbourne's Parkinson's diagnosis was revealed to the public, the reaction was one of collective shock and sadness, not just from his fans, but from the entire music industry. The revelation that one of rock and roll's most enduring figures was facing such a daunting illness made headlines across the world. Ozzy had always been larger than life, a rebellious figure who defied the odds and had survived everything from substance abuse to physical injuries. But Parkinson's disease is different. It's a battle that no amount of fame or wealth can prevent. And for a man who built his legacy on the energy of live performances, the idea that his health could restrict him was a deeply emotional blow. The support from Ozzy's fans has been overwhelming, showing just how much the Prince of Darkness means to people worldwide. Social media was flooded with messages of love and solidarity, and countless fans shared their personal stories about how Ozzy's music had impacted their lives. It was clear that Ozzy was not just an icon. He was part of the soundtrack to many people's most significant moments. His influence was not limited to just the music world, but had permeated the very fabric of culture itself. For many, Ozzy was a symbol of strength, resilience, and defiance, and his fans were determined to show that same support back in his time of need. The response from fellow musicians was equally heartfelt. Ozzy Osbourne is not only a pioneering figure in heavy metal, but a mentor to many who came after him. His influence on generations of musicians, especially those within the metal and rock genres, cannot be overstated. Musicians from all walks of life, including Metallica's James Hetfield, Slipknot's Corey Taylor, and many others, reached out to express their admiration, offering their support during this challenging time. The overwhelming response from the music community underscored the immense respect Ozzy commands, both for his work and for the person he is. Additionally, Ozzy's family has rallied around him with an unwavering commitment to helping him navigate through this difficult journey. Sharon Osbourne, his wife, has been particularly vocal in showing her support, not only for Ozzy, but for the fans who have kept him in their thoughts and prayers. The couple's bond has always been one of strength and unity, and Sharon has always been the steady force that has helped Ozzy remain grounded in times of turmoil. She has continued to stand by him, making sure he gets the proper care and helping him face each day with determination. Despite the emotional weight of the situation, Ozzy's family and his supporters remain hopeful. The outpouring of love from fans, peers, and loved ones serves as a reminder that while the disease may affect Ozzy's body, it cannot diminish the impact he has had on the world. His legacy is built on more than just his physical performances. It's rooted in the music, the energy, and the emotions he has shared with people for over 5 decades. His supporters believe that his influence will continue to live on, even as he faces the challenges of Parkinson's disease. In the wake of this difficult news, fans have found comfort in knowing that Ozzy's spirit remains strong. The collective reaction to his diagnosis has only deepened the bond between the musician and his fans, proving that the connection between artist and listener transcends even the most difficult circumstances. Ozzy Osbourne may be facing an uncertain future, but he will never be alone in this battle. Ozzy Osbourne's legacy is one that transcends time and genre. While his current health struggles have certainly cast a shadow over his career, they do nothing to diminish the tremendous influence he has had on music, culture, and generations of fans around the world. From his groundbreaking work with Black Sabbath to his celebrated solo career, Ozzy's contributions to rock music are immeasurable. As the frontman of Black Sabbath, Ozzy helped forge the sound of heavy metal. Sabbath's dark, brooding riffs, paired with Ozzy's haunting vocals, set the template for what would become one of the most influential genres in modern music. The album, Black Sabbath, released in 1970, is often cited as the first true heavy metal album. With songs like Iron Man and War Pigs, Black Sabbath's sound resonated with a generation that was searching for music that reflected their disillusionment and frustration. It was a new sound, an aggressive, distorted form of rock that had never been heard before, and Ozzy's distinctive voice was central to its creation. But Ozzy's impact didn't stop there. His solo career, starting with Blizzard of Oz in 1980, cemented his place as a rock and roll icon. With hits like Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley, Ozzy proved that he was more than just the frontman of Black Sabbath. He was a bona fide star in his own right. The success of his solo albums introduced a new era in his career, one that would see him become one of the most recognizable and successful figures in rock music history. Beyond his music, Ozzy's larger-than-life persona made him a cultural phenomenon. His eccentricities, his wild behavior, and his willingness to embrace controversy made him a tabloid favorite and kept him in the public eye. Yet, through it all, Ozzy remained an enigma, both loved and misunderstood by the media. His image as the Prince of Darkness and his ability to shock and entertain became an essential part of his appeal. He was both a rock star and a character, blending the line between reality and myth in ways that few others in the industry could replicate. Even when Ozzy's personal struggles, particularly with addiction, became a constant focus of public scrutiny, his resilience remained undeniable. Time and again, he would emerge from the ashes, his passion for music always driving him forward. His ability to reinvent himself, even after personal setbacks, is a testament to his unwavering commitment to his craft. His show, The Osbournes, introduced a different side of him, revealing a vulnerable, relatable family man beneath the larger-than-life persona. The success of the show helped introduce him to a new generation of fans, further solidifying his cultural relevance. Ozzy's influence goes beyond just music and television. He has shaped the entire rock genre and paved the way for countless artists who came after him. His legacy is rooted in his ability to take risks, to defy expectations, and to push the boundaries of what it means to be a rock star. While his health may be in decline, the impact he has had on the music world and the culture at large will live on long after his final performance. Ozzy Osbourne will always be remembered not just for his groundbreaking music, but for his relentless spirit, his ability to inspire, and his status as a true icon in the world of rock and roll. As Ozzy Osbourne faces the challenges brought on by his Parkinson's diagnosis, the question on everyone's mind is, what does the future hold for this legendary figure? For a man who has spent more than 5 decades in the spotlight, building an extraordinary career, it's hard to imagine a future where he is no longer performing on stage or recording new music. Yet, as his health continues to decline, it's becoming increasingly clear that Ozzy's future may look very different from what fans have known and loved. For Ozzy, the hardest part of this new chapter is confronting the reality that his body is no longer able to keep up with the demands of his career. Touring, once a vital part of his life, may no longer be an option. In an interview after his diagnosis, Ozzy spoke about the emotional toll of not being able to perform the way he used to. For someone whose identity has been so closely tied to the stage, it's a devastating realization. However, Ozzy has also expressed a desire to keep making music, regardless of whether he can tour. His love for songwriting and performing has never diminished, and even though he may not be able to perform live in the same way he once did, his creative spirit remains alive. Despite the uncertainty, Ozzy has shown no signs of giving up. He has always been a fighter, whether battling addiction, personal demons, or the physical toll of rock and roll life. And now, with Parkinson's disease in the mix, it's clear that he is determined to fight this battle with the same tenacity he has shown throughout his entire career. In fact, he has already hinted at the possibility of new music, reassuring fans that while his performances may be limited, his passion for creating will remain undiminished. Ozzy's family has been a constant source of support during this time. Sharon, his wife, has been there every step of the way, offering both emotional and practical support as they navigate this new phase in their lives. The couple's bond has always been a central part of Ozzy's life, and Sharon's role as his partner in both life and career will continue to play a key role as Ozzy moves forward. For fans, the future is uncertain, but the love and admiration for Ozzy remain strong. The rock community has rallied around him, offering support, encouragement, and messages of gratitude for all that he has given throughout the years. While the physical toll of Parkinson's disease may prevent Ozzy from performing the way he once did, his legacy will continue to live on in the music he has already created. What's next for Ozzy Osbourne may be unclear, but one thing is certain: his place in the history of rock and roll is forever secure. If you've been touched by Ozzy Osbourne's incredible journey, his resilience, don't forget to like and subscribe for further updates.